Hey YouTube, how you doing? I'm doing okay today. Well, not really okay. I kind of feel kind of sick. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but yeah, maybe that's better. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but I just feel nauseated, man. I just don't know why. Uh, Hopefully it's just a, hopefully it ain't the flu. But anyway, you know, a lot of people, or some people, you know, they're worried, you know, about the decisions that I'm making with this truck. So I decided to make a video of it, you know. Each and everybody out there, I do respect your opinion, you know. In normal circumstances, if I was having, I guess I just got to tell you the story, you know. I used to have a $27 an hour job. I used to work from 9 to 5, or it just depended on, you know, it wasn't the same job, but I didn't, when I took steps through the steps through the progress of my career, I always stepped up into a supervisor's position or a quality control inspector or whatever it was that I decided to do. Even a service tech, you know, I didn't like service work because you get called at 2 o'clock in the morning, go out and it's a daggum thermostat on the wall, or you just can't. So I just preferred to stay in the rough end area. I was so good at it that I was the, you know, the lead foreman. You know, I'm the one that took care of all the materials on the truck. You know, I made sure everybody, my truck ran like silk. You know, and everybody that I worked for seen that. Okay, and then after my job, that's when I had my, you know, slash side work for AC work, or slash fucking home remodeling, discount home repair specialist is what the name of my side company was. And I would do side work, and that job there alone, I mean, those side work, all that side job, side business, whatever you want to call it, I blew every damn penny that I had to pay for my addiction, because I was working long hours, you know. I was a workaholic. I never spent time with my kids. I never did anything with them. I always made sure they were okay. I made sure mom had a car, you know, yada, yada. And I never was home. I would be pulling up at the house 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I always went to bed every night. I wasn't some hardcore drug user that just tweaked all the time and screwed shit up and had a miserable, terrible life. I was productive with it, you know? And that's where I wanted y'all to understand that, you know, I was like a dog chasing its tail. And so now that I've had this accident, motorcycle accident, and my mom passed away, and I buried my ass deep in my own addiction and didn't care, at that point, at that moment, I didn't do side work. I started using drugs to cover up feelings. I started using drugs to not deal with my emotions. I started using that drug as a crutch. And when you use a drug for a crutch, you done screwed yourself, because there ain't no going back to just being productive with it, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not going to go any more on the subject. I'm not saying it's okay to, I'm not even going to give my opinion out there on it. All I can say is I pissed my whole damn life away, didn't spend no time with my kids or anything, and I worked my butt off my whole life. And now I'm 50 years old, and I'm okay in my financial bracket right now. I'm not struggling. All the things that I do down there at the shop, I'm usually with my son, or if I am doing something, I'm just piddle poking around. You know, I'm slicing deals. If me and my son unload this truck of shingles in the Ford truck, and we do this, we get this Corvette ready over here, and I wash the car, send it out there on the lot, or I help this guy over here fix a fender or something for my car, my wife to eventually have her own Lexus out there, you know, that she likes. You know, everything is coming together, you know. And I bought this truck right after I got clean, and I wanted to start doing things with my life other than just working my butt off all the time. My son, he grew his own addiction. He locked himself in his room. He started playing that damn Fortnite, like solid, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen somebody come straight home from school, get on the computer, and go to bed at 2 in the morning, or go to bed a little early, and then set his alarm clock for 4 o'clock in the morning to get up so he can have to play some more video games before he goes to school. Now where I'm at in my life, I got my truck, I got my YouTube channel. My son's finally starting to come around. He's getting more comfortable on the channel. He's actually learning things. We're growing a tight-knit bond that I cannot explain. My daughter loves it. You know, she's kind of jealous, and, you know, she says, I got mixed feelings, Dad. You know, now you're doing good now that I'm out of the house and I'm going to college and I'm starting to start my own routine in life. She says, at first I was really bitter at the fact and jealous that, you know, you're doing all the things that I've missed out. I missed out on it. And it makes me cry and weep when I think about my daughter like that. But she told me that she is so proud of me that I'm getting out of the house with my son. He no longer stays in there in the computer. He wants to get out. He wants to do things with me. He calls me in the afternoons when he gets out of school, or he comes home and he says, Dad, let's go do something at the shop. He's interested in something rather than to sit there and burn up an addiction with a computer, which was the same thing I was doing, except with drugs. He's addicted to the computer. I was addicted to drugs. And my daughter, well, I'm not going to go into everything that happened with my daughter because that's nobody's business, but she's doing really well. She learned from her daddy's mistakes and didn't go down that road. My son has learned from my mistakes and didn't go down that road. Uh-oh, my battery's going dead, and I'm going to make this quick. But I just wanted to let y'all know that in the end, when y'all put it out there in the wash, I'm doing things productive with my son. When I'm dead and gone, he'll have this truck around him, whether it's with it's going to stay in the family. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be able to look at it. He learned stuff from it. He grew a bond with me. We learned how to make a connection together, doing things together. That's what the most important thing is about having a family, is spending family time together. Not working your ass off constantly to take care of your own self and your own greedy ass desires, and your family. Just give them money, you know. And that's where I wanted to explain to everybody. I am so content with my life right now. If I put this motor in this, if I put this V8 in this truck, and I go out there and 5 months later it blows up because I decided to give it to my son and he sticks his foot in it, which he's not going to do. He's really leery about being hard on motors. He doesn't like it when people spin tires going down the road. He's a very responsible person that sits back and watches people and seeing them make an ass of themselves. So I'm not really worried about that. But just let's say, so to speak, that happens. Well, then we got something else to do together to fix. If he wrecks it and runs it into a wall out there, then we got something else to do together to learn how to fix. It's just a bond thing. It's my addiction now, and it's became his addiction as well. He likes the same thing I like, and it grows us closer together. And he'll always have these videos when I'm gone, and that truck around him, this truck that I'm sitting in now, around him, and that will give him something to pass along to his children. It might not be truck, it might not be this, but at least he'll find something with his kids instead of just being a workaholic, taking care of them and not having no bond with them. That's the important thing for me right now, is doing things with my son and learning myself and him to learn with me. And for me to just sell this truck and the LTD, it's probably going to get flipped on down the line, you know. I probably ain't going to drive it around long enough for the motor to wear out and then have to worry about putting a motor in. But then again, he might fall in love with it. It might be his thing. I don't know. We just got to play it by ear. I'm just enjoying my family right now. And I don't want y'all freaking out thinking, oh, you just need to sell all this shit. What am I going to do is sell all this crap around here? Sit in the house, make him lock himself back up in the house, get on the computer, spend no time together, and what's that doing? Nothing. It's not creating moments of any kind. It's separation, you know? When you're addicted to something, you separate yourself from family time. And I just wanted to tell people out there that I'm not being hard-headed. I'm not starving to death. I'm not you know, I could probably use some new couches. I could probably use a new refrigerator. I could probably use a lot of things. I could probably take my family out and spend time with them at going to the amusement parks around here and going to the Ripley's Believe It or Not and going to all these places and blowing money and spending quality time that way with my family. But that's not what we want to do. We don't crave that, you know. That's what they did without me whenever I was working. They would go spend my money. My wife and my 2 children, they spent time together. I was the one that was unplugged, working my butt off for them. Now that I'm coming around and I'm wanting to be involved with my grandbabies, I'm so excited for my daughter to have a baby. She is ready to have a baby. And I can't wait to spoil the crap out of that grandbaby. I can't wait to spend quality time with it. I can't wait to do those things with that child that I missed out on all those years. With my wife, more or less raised the kids herself, you know, except for, you know, you're around, you got to discipline your kid, this, that, and the other, you got to scold them, you know, whatever. I wasn't completely absent from them, but I was just working all the time. And when I wasn't working, I was sleeping. I was either sleeping or working or sleeping. And I did that routine for years. Anyway, I'm going to get off here and let y'all go, but, one more thing. That inline 6 that came in this truck, it came original in this truck, not the one that's in here now. I still have that inline 6. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm never going to get rid of it. Because if anybody decides to take this truck back to the original condition and sell it as it is, then having the original serial numbers with the motor in the truck, it's a back and forth thing. I'm hanging on to it anyway, but you got to look at it like this. Are you going to hang on to something thinking that you're going to sell it and get some money out of it later on, or are you actually going to do something with it, create memories and moments with it, make videos of it, and then hand it down the line? And if my grandkids' kids or my great-grandkids lose interest and they just don't, it ain't their thing and they want to sell the truck, well, at least they might be successful enough to take that original motor and put back in this truck and have it rebuilt and then sell it with all the serial numbers and everything matching. But on the other hand, the transmission that's in this truck is not original. I don't know where the original transmission in it is. And for a collector to be wanting to collect something that's all original, the chain's already been broken on it. It's got a Granny Lowe's 4-speed in it. It probably came out of a dump truck somewhere. This thing came originally with a 3 on the tree, you know? It's just one of those things. Do you or are you wanting to sell it for money? If you're wanting to sell it and make money, yeah, leave it original. But if you're wanting to create moments and do things with your kids or do things and enjoy yourself with it, do what you want to do with it. Enjoy yourself, you know? It's just one of those things, you know? I could probably rebuild the motor in this thing and stick it back in here and mess with it, but I just don't want that. Whenever I was a kid, I wanted a C10 Chevy truck just like my pawpaw's with a V8 motor in it, and when he would decide to bark the tires every now and then and that roar that it gave with the I love that, you know? That was my dream, is to have one of these things and with a V8 motor in it. And it's just a crying shame that I got an inline 6 and it wore out, or whatever happens, you know? It is what it is, you know? I'm not in this to make money. I'm not trying to flip cars because there's no way in heck I could, my health is not going to hold up to make money. All I'm doing is barely breaking even, and my son's making a little bit extra cash, and we're enjoying ourselves right now, you know? If he decides to make that his major and do paint and body work, or be a painter, or be a mechanic, or have something to do with cars, then he does. But I told him this, man, if you really truly enjoy doing something as a hobby, and that's what your burning passion is, sometimes people take that hobby and they turn it into a job. And then the job, it gets old after a while. Then what do you do for leisure activity? What do you do to enjoy yourself? You got to go find something else to do because you're tired of screwing with cars all day, every day. You know? So he's kind of leery about that. He thought about being an electrician. He thought about maybe being an AC guy like me. He thought about maybe being a welder, you know? And what he's going to do with his spare time is going to probably have something to do with a classic car, because he's starting to get interested in it. I'm thinking about taking that 305 motor out there. If I cut off, I'm sorry because the battery's going in, but I'm going to talk. If I thought about taking that 305 motor out there and just taking it apart with him so he sees what it is. Show him what all the push rods are for. Show him what the cam's for. Show him what the valves are doing. Turn it over by hand. Let him look at it. You know, explain how that works so it all makes sense up here, and then he has something to work on. Then he's not in the dark about how a motor works. You know, I'm showing him how to paint. You know, I'm showing him how to do different things. He's got to go to school right now. You know, it's just one of these things where I'm just enjoying myself right now and living for the moment, and I'm in full content of my life. I'm not starving to death. My wife is happy. She's wanting to go find another job instead of working at, she calls it Hellmart. She's really stuck right now. You know, she doesn't like that area that she's in. She's got a squeaky ass clean record. She doesn't have anything but a few tickets on her driving record. She has got an opportunity to go out there and get a good job for herself that a lot of other people don't have because they've made mistakes and got something on their record. And that's important to her as well as me. I'm glad like crazy that she never did get involved in the crap that I was doing. I'm blessed for that, you know. But anyway, I will see y'all later till next time, and that's just is what it is. I'm not selling this truck. It's the key thing in my life that keeps me straight, keeps me clean, and it bonds me and my son together so close right now. We are just enjoying life for what it is, you know. I might say I'm stressing over this, or I'm stressing over that, or I'm trying to find this, or I'm trying to find... Actually, all I'm doing is learning something new and enjoying myself while I'm doing it. Anyway, I hope y'all understand that selling this truck just ain't an option, man. It brings me happiness. It brings me and my son closer together on every little thing that we do on it. Especially now that we've got a place to where he ain't crawling under the truck in the mud and the dirt, and he's finally gets to get on a creeper and roll under the truck and have all the tools and the little caddies beside the creeper, and he's going like, wow, I could see the expressions and emotions running through his facial expressions, like, yeah, he's smiling under there using the ratchet and the tools, and it's like, oh yeah, we're joking, talking around different things, this and that and the other, and we're having a great time instead of, man, I hate this, I can't find the bolt, I lost it in the dirt, oh God. It's no longer that way. We're actually enjoying ourselves, you know? And no, I ain't making no money doing none of this, but hey, I'm enjoying my time with my son, and we're doing just fine. Keeping it straight, keeping it real. Y'all let me know how you feel, man, after hearing this video. But that's just is what it is, and it bees what it bees. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Limster out.